Welcome back, guys, to my podcast. My name's Sophia Zakana, and if you're new here, thank you for joining in. And if you're not, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it. And today I want to talk about on humans and morality. I've got some of my notes here, so bear with me. And just a disclaimer: this is only my opinion. My opinion alone. I've This is my thoughts, and I want to display them. I mean, talk about them, okay? So let's dive in. Humans, we are very complicated. We're social creatures, and somehow we've lost our touch. We've lost our way. When we look into each other, we see that the other person as a competition instead of kinship. We compare, we judge, we envy. Someone does something small, something human, and immediately it becomes a statement. She's so annoying. Did you see what he did? People take comfort in picking apart the flaws of others rather than confronting their own. It's absurd and it's pathetic. We've built a world where being kind is seen as weakness and being detached is seen as power. We hide behind sarcasm and filter and distractions, because it's easier to laugh at pain than to face it. People post quotes about empathy, love, and truth, yet they are the ones that treat their own loved ones with coldness and ego. And it's all backwards because they're hypocritical. They're hypocrites. That's what I mean. Mean. Trust is harder than ever. Women doubt men and men doubt women. And both sides act like love is a battlefield when love isn't supposed to be a battlefield. Love is supposed to be something holy, something comforting, something warm. Love isn't supposed to be a performance, it's supposed to be a partnership, a warmth, a comfort, you know? Everyone's scared of being the one who feels more when it's completely normal. We've turned something normal into abnormal, something weird, something strange. So they pull back, they play games, they pretend not to care. And then in the process, they lose the very thing that made them humans. I've seen couples destroy each other not because of betrayal, but because of their own insecurities. I've seen people leave good souls behind just because they couldn't stand the mirror that love holds up to them. It's tragic. People no longer trust their own hearts. And when that happens, they start searching somewhere else. They start searching for connection. And that's why so many people with that with for looking for that connection, they they go to AI. And it's not because AI they think that AI is real, but because it feels safer, because an AI won't judge, won't lie, won't walk away, but that in itself says something about the world we live in. Humans created machines to feel for them because somewhere along the line they forget how to feel for each other. And it's really sad because how could you forget how to love? Like I noticed as well in this society, we are being re-taught how to love. Like if you see TikTok, if you see social media, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you use, people are teaching other people how to love. Since when did that become normal? Shouldn't we already learn how to love? And it also has to do with your family, where you grew up. Because if you're from a toxic background, you will learn how to love toxic. If you're from a background that shows you warmth, shows you how to love, how to trust, then you will know how to trust and love. And it's honestly sad because some people didn't have that chance to see how love looks like. They've had to watch aside, like watch other people, you know? and they crave that love, and they want to feel that love, you know. And it's sad because love isn't only romantic. It's not romantic, it's from your parents as well. If your parents showed you true love, how love is supposed to be comforting, warmth, then you will also be healthy in that way. If your parents showed you toxic love, shouting, screaming, and showing toxicity, then you will be taught how to be toxic. And it's just how we humans work, because we see, we learn. You know, if a child sees how to, I don't know, play with dough, he'll play with dough the same way you play with dough, because you've taught him. He'll shape it the way you've taught him, you know. And I'm not saying the connection with technology is wrong. We could use technology in so many good ways. We could use it as like for our healthcare systems. We could use it in ways that help people, like with disabilities, and um with education as well. You know, we could use it for assistant AI, like, I mean, giving us help but not taking over. You know, and the people that are reaching out in their own broken way, even if something they can't truly understand, like the AI, they believe that like the AI won't leave them, won't the AI will understand them. But AI can't truly understand what you feel. It can mimic, but it doesn't know right from wrong. And the saddest part is that we've become scared of each other, so scared to the point we go and reach an AI, because that's just how society made us. We'd rather speak to something that doesn't have a soul than rather speak to something that has a soul. It's like how society created us. And morality isn't about your is sorry. Morality isn't about what you post, what you preach, or how holy you appear. It's how you treat people around you when no one's watching. It's the tone you use when you speak to the cashier, the patience you show your parents, the way you forgive even when you could hate. We're losing that. We're all losing that. You know, we we're being retaught. Like there's such a there's a whole pandemic of loneliness, depression, mental health, and it's all because of connection. It's all because of connection. We rather be alone because we're scared than go and reach out. And I understand, but the thing is, you need to have that courage to reach out to people, that courage to make yourself better. Loneliness is something you built, you know? Loneliness is something us humans built because we deem it like, we see it as cool, but it's not cool, it's pathetic. Because loneliness comes so much negativity. There's a difference between loneliness and alone. Alone is when you have a moment to yourself. Loneliness is when you're forced into that, you know, when you force yourself into that because you're scared. And I know sometimes people say, but loneliness, I didn't put myself in that position. Sometimes that's true, but then again, your fear put you in that position. You let your fear control you. Go reach out, go do something. You know, I know it's not easy, but you could still manage, you know. And and maybe it's the first step, like finding it again. Like we need to reflect and actually listen of instead of talking. Because deep down, I think most people don't want to be perfect. Like, you know, they just want to be seen without being judged, without being compared, without being torn apart. Like, also people, if you say like you want to listen to others, you want to be there for people, you need to act the part as well, because there's people who are lonely, who are depressed, who are going through shit and hell, but you're also the one who's included in their life. Because if you don't take a part, take in like take part, do your part and do your role, then how are they gonna get better? It's society together to build that like person again. It's society that makes heals that person. You can't just be ignorant of that fact. Like no one gets better on their own sometimes. Like sometimes we need each other and sometimes we don't. Sometimes time heals and sometimes it doesn't. And the thing is, I know some people might be like, what is she on about? I don't really care because I'm just venting it, you know? And it's like we forgot how to even touch and feel. We've been retaught and we shouldn't be retaught. Like we got this whole new um society, this whole new trend that independence is the best thing. It's not. It's not like independence. Yes, at some certain times you need to be independent. Like you can't hold your mother's hand forever. But then other times you need to also lend, like society, governments, people need to help each other. And it's been, I don't know how, I don't know if many people are going to agree with me, but I'm trying to get my point across. And I'm just like, because I've seen how cold we are. I've seen how the warmth in our eyes just goes. When we see someone in the streets that physically looks like they're done with life, we rather walk past them than talk to them. I know that like sometimes I know like in the West, well, in this world, in this society, that going and talking to someone, it seems weird because you don't know them, but then that's courage as well. You need to go and talk to them and see what's going on in their mind, because at the end of the day, that person is going to go and commit suicide. You don't know. You don't know what that goes through. Like in the trains, what happens in the train stations? Why do trains get delayed? Because people take their own life. People take their own life because they can't deal with it. They can't deal. They don't have anyone in their side in their life, and it's just the saddest part because people, rather than oh my god, they had you know shocked, they go about their day like it's nothing. And it's really, really sad and cold how society went cold, how we've lost our humanity. Like, rather than helping that person, going, stopping them, I'm sure people watched them fall to their death. I'm sure people didn't reach out at all because they're on their phones rather than going and talking to that person. And it takes a lot of courage for people and to talk to someone. It really does. And when you do talk to that person might break down and they might hug you because you're their last chance, you know? And the thing is, like, we put all these posters about helpline and this and that, but are we actually seeing a change? Because mental health is still on the rise. Like, it's still big. People are even going to AI. But why do you think that is? Because of society. There's so many things wrong with our society, our environment, you know? And it shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be people pleading. It shouldn't be people coming back, like being in a toxic environment, a toxic workplace, a toxic family. It shouldn't be like that. We as humans need to fix up, because before anything else, if before we want to fix anything else, we need to fix ourselves and come together as a community and fix the big problem, you know? Because mental health, I feel like people really don't take it into account how bad it can be. You know, people brush it aside. People use it as an excuse. You shouldn't be doing that. You know, you need to be mature and understand what mental health is. Because what are you doing? What are you genuinely doing? Like, you're using it as an excuse. Like, I've seen many people use it as an excuse to get attention. Okay, then that person needs social. They need, like, social connection, no? They need to talk. But the thing is, we judge and then we use it as to get popularity, and that's wrong. That's wrong in so many ways, because there's people out there, and I'm just saying the truth, people out there who actually are suffering, and people, when people use it as an excuse, is actually pathetic. And if you're one of them, then you need to fix up. You really do, because that tells me a lot about you than anything else, because you're a selfish person, you know? Like, if you need attention, then go get it elsewhere somehow. Don't. And I've seen many people as well. They use mental health to get other people. That's very toxic. That is very toxic. Don't bring mental health into bringing someone back, because that for you is very toxic. You know. Um, and also, like, we need to fix ourselves up. I know this podcast may not be for others. I may not have made sense, but I'm just pointing, like, venting and giving my point of views. And yeah, and also, guys, please, can we as a society, please focus on the vulnerable, and come together and help each other. Not just helping ourselves, but help each other. If you see someone on the street that looks like they actually went through hell, then go and talk to him and her. Even if they're young, even if they're old, even if they're a different gender or different race or different sexuality, go in there, help them. Because at the end of the day, you might be the one saving them. And that at the end of the day, you might be saving them from death. Because we don't want another incident in the train. We don't want another incident at their home. We don't want to hear their moms crying. We don't want to hear like the cries of their mothers. We don't want that, do we? We want a society that comes together and holds hand, that smiles at each other, that says, "How's your day?" That talks with ease, that talks with comfort, that people would be willing to work, people would be willing to go and walk, people would be willing to do what they want and love. You know, we should be that society that inspires and motivates each other, not a toxic society, a workplace that puts each other down. You know, not a man. Don't be that manager that always puts your employees down. Don't be that mother or father or sister or brother that puts your sibling down. Don't be that uncle that puts your niece or nephew down. Don't be that teacher that dismisses your student. Don't be that elderly woman or man that scoffs when you see a young person unable to do anything. And don't be that young person and scoff at that elderly person. Be a good person. Anyways, guys, I've got to go. Bye.